Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Erin and I will be your teacher today as we flow through this practice. Join me on your mat. We'll start in a cross-seated position. In the middle of your mat, or if you don't have a mat, that's totally okay. Bring your hands to your knees. Pull your spine long as you breathe in. And just feel your sit bones, drop your shoulders down your back as you breathe out. Just gently close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths here. Just acknowledge and recognizing yourself for taking a few moments just for you. And anytime your thoughts might drift off into what's next, what's coming next, just bring yourself back to your breath. And back to your mat or back to where your hands and feet are on the ground. And as you take your next inhale, gently blink your eyes open, pulling your hands to heart center. And as you sweep your hands to the ceiling, breathe in and pull your hands through heart center as you breathe out. Good, sweep your hands up, following your fingertips with your eyes. And hands through heart center. One more time, reach up 1 inch higher and hands through heart center. Place your left hand on your right knee, reach your right hand high to the ceiling. Breathe in, and as you twist, place your hand behind you, exhaling, twisting. And switch sides, take your right hand to your left knee, reach up. And twist as you drop your hand behind you, creating a long spine. Coming back towards center, crawling your hands forward in front of you, rolling onto your knees. Walk your knees behind you, coming into a child's pose, toes to touch, knees wide. And sink your heels all the way towards your heels. They may touch, they may not. And drop your head to the ground. Crawl your fingertips forward here, pressing all 10 fingers into your mat. And then pull your shoulders in towards your spine. Engaging through the upper arms. Again, notice if you've lifted your head and just place it back down onto your mat, maybe rolling your forehead side to side. And gently lift yourself up. And place your hands under your shoulders for tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Drop your belly, look up to the ceiling for cow pose. And round your spine, look back between your knees for cat pose. Do that again, drop your belly low, look up. And round your spine, look back as you exhale. Push the ground away. One more time, drop your belly low. And round your spine into a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under, walk your hands 1 step forward, and then lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. So first let's talk about your hands. Open your hands nice and wide, about shoulder distance apart, and then press down especially between your pointer finger and your thumb. So no cupping of the fingers here, creating a nice strong platform for your downward facing dog. And for your feet, bring them hip distance apart, about 5-6 inches in between, and press your heels straight down to the ground. Good. One way to check out your length of your downward facing dog is to pull forward into a high plank, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. And if you had to move your hands at all, just keep your hands there. And then lift your hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Try on a slight bend in your knees and pull your spine long towards the ceiling, high towards the ceiling. And set your gaze, your drishti gaze, between your feet on one point. Again, coming back to your hands, pressing that pointer finger and thumb down into the ground. And step your feet to your hands. Good. Keeping your feet about hip distance apart. Grab opposite elbows. Generous bend in your knee. Drop your chest onto your thighs. And resist the urge to look forward here. Drop your head looking behind you. And just gently sway side to side. And release your hands. Sweep your hands to your hips and stand all the way up. Now reach your hands high to the ceiling. This is extended mountain pose. Heel toe your feet together. And with your right hand, grab your left wrist. Pull your hands high to the ceiling as you breathe in. And push your hips to the left, hands to the right as you breathe out, looking past your left bicep. Take another breath in here. Go another inch further. And come back towards center as you inhale. Left hand grabs right wrist. Breathe in, grow long, and exhale, going over to the left this time, hips to the right, looking past your right bicep. Another breath in, another breath out, and come back up towards center. Lift up. This is extended mountain pose. Pull your hands through heart center, forward fold. Good. Next, we'll come into a halfway lift. So from your forward fold, place your hands on the ground or your shins and pull your spine long as you breathe in. This is halfway lift. Belly button into your spine. Good, and forward fold. Again, lift up halfway. Inhale, shoulders in, belly in. And bow forward. Halfway lift one more time here. And step back, high plank position. From here, shift forward, breathe in, and drop down to your knees and lower down to a low push-up. Good, flip over onto your toes, lift up into upward facing dog, chest forward through your arms, and downward facing dog. Roll back over onto your toes. Take a deep breath in. And a deeper breath out. And step both of your feet together. Lift your right foot up into the air. Yeah, first keep your hips stacked. Lift your right heel an inch higher towards the ceiling. Flex your toes towards your face. Now bend your knee and stack right hip on top of left. Take a couple breaths here. From your glute, lift your knee high to the ceiling and replace. Lift your left leg up, toes flex towards your face. Bend your knees, stack your hips open. Little hip opener here. Pressing evenly through both hands. And replace both feet down. Walk your hands back towards your feet this time. And take a bind of your low back. Lift your hands high to the ceiling and drop your chest. Let your bind fall forward, keeping your hands interlaced. And take a couple of breaths. Release your hands. Walk back out into your downward facing dog. Take one breath in, lift up high on your toes. Exhale, press both heels down into the ground. Lift your right leg. Step your right foot between your hands. Crescent lunge. So in crescent lunge, we stay on our back toes. If you need to drop down to your knee, totally fine. Lifting our back hamstring up towards the ceiling. Crescent lunge. Notice if you're gripping in your front toes, lift them off the mat. Spread your toes, lift your toes. Pull your hands to your heart. And twist to the right. So right elbow on the outside of right knee. Left elbow on the outside of right knee. Pull your spine long as you breathe in and twist as you breathe out. Do that one more time. Inhale. Twist as you exhale. Come back to crescent lunge, inhale, and hands to the mat, high plank. Shift forward, breathe in, lower halfway down, low push-up, knees or toes, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe in, and breathe out. Lift your left leg, step it between your hands, crescent lunge. Pushing your back hamstring again up towards the ceiling, no gripping in the front toes. Hands to your heart, and twist to the left. Right elbow on the outside of left knee, creating length as you inhale, and twisting as you exhale. That back knee is always available. Come back, crescent lunge, inhale. Step back, high plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift high on your toes. Push your heels straight down, long spine. Good, lift up onto your toes again and tiptoe your feet all the way up to your hands. Hands find your hips, stand up. Extended mountain pose. Good, now bring your right knee into your chest. With your right hand, grab the inside of your right knee and open up towards the right wall or over to the right, reaching to your left. You can keep your eyes straight forward here, or challenge your gaze, challenge your balance by looking past your fingertips. You might wobble, fall, that's okay. Come back. And come back towards center. Inhale, lift your knee another inch, and then straighten your lifted leg. Standing splits, hands come to the ground, legs stay straight here. Yeah, right leg lifts. Keeping your right hip square towards your mat. Lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Replace your leg. Hands to your hips, stand all the way up, extended mountain pose. This time find your left hand on the inside of your left knee. Flex your toes up towards your face, and then open towards the left side of the room, and reach towards the right side of the room. Again, staying here, or taking that challenge of the gaze over your right fingertips. Coming back towards center, little wobble, it's so good. And then kick your left leg straight, inhale. As you exhale, sweep your hands to the ground, standing splits. Hands on the ground, lift your left heel as high as you can, keeping your hips square. Toes flex towards your face. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Replace. And halfway lift, inhale. Step back, high plank as you exhale. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg again. Step your right foot between your hands. Runner's lunge. Your choice to stay on your back toes or on your back knee. But keep your hips shifted forward here. Even if you're on your knee, you don't want to be hips back. Hips stay forward, hands stay on the ground. If your knee is off the ground, push that hamstring up towards the ceiling. Keeping knee stacked over ankle. Good, crawl your foot towards the right side of your mat, right foot to the right side. Right hand on the inside of your right foot. And take another couple breaths here. Good, pull your shoulder blades down your back, inhale, and step back down with facing dog. Good, lift your left leg, step your left foot between your hands, runner's lunge. Your breath, your practice. Again, move your left foot Left foot out towards the left side of your mat, left hand inside. You can stay here, you can come down to your elbows, whatever you have space for. Again, lift through the chest and step back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands up towards your feet and come seated, laying down onto your back. Pull your right knee into your chest, breathe in, and twist, dropping it over towards the left side of your mat, supine twist. Right hand reaches towards the right side of the room. Right shoulder comes down towards the ground. Hug your right knee back in towards center. And switch sides, left knee comes in. And drop it over to your right, coming onto that right hip. Opening up towards the left side of the room this time. Pull your left knee, right knee in, giving yourself a big squeeze, going all in towards center, and letting it all go, coming into a final resting pose into Shavasana. Your feet can fall out to the sides, hands can face up for energy or down for grounding, your choice. And just allow yourself 5 breaths. Just notice the ebb and flow of your breath entering and leaving your body. On your next inhale, reach your hands high overhead for a good morning stretch, pointing your toes, reaching your fingers in opposite directions, and gently rolling onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow, pulling your left and right knees in towards your chest. Just taking a moment here to be thankful for the movement your body was able to do and the time that you took for yourself for this practice. And gently press your left hand into the mat, bringing yourself up to a tall seat. And bring your hands to heart center. As you inhale, pull your spine long, and exhaling, your sit bones grounded into the earth. Bring thumb tips to forehead center, touch in. Together we bow and we say, Namaste. Wonderful practice, everyone. I clap for all of you. Join me again on your mat next week. Hit this video a couple times. And boiler up.